Oh, yeah. Fell in my seat. Welcome to Talkin Baseball. Team profile and projections brought to you by DraftKings. And today we are doing the Philadelphia Phillies. How about that? Our audience ranked them as the 14th ranked team, which puts them in the upper half of MLB. Last year, they finished with a losing record for the 8th season in a row. They had 7 hitters with above average stats. They had 3 starting pitchers with above average stats, but they had the worst bullpen in organized baseball. Jake, did they change anything?
8 years in a row with a losing record. Phillies, let's go! Jim, they lost Jake Arrieta to the Cubs. They lost Brandon Workman to the Cubs. David Phelps, Victor Arano, Jay Bruce trying out for the Yankees. David Robinson and Jose Alvarez still unsigned as we record this, I should say. They did add Archie Bradley to help with some of those bullpen qualms. That's not right.
Host of a Jomboy Media podcast.
Jose Alvarado, he'll be back there too. Chase Anderson and Matt Moore, a couple interesting adds to help with the pitching. Of course, Real Muto came back in free agency. That was kind of the big question mark for them. Don't sleep on Brandon Kinster, Tony Watson, too, a couple veterans that can still get you out. So, again, the reworked bullpen, what does that mean, Trev? I know it still means they got a nice lineup, though.
You know I love this lineup. I've had a lot of beers with this lineup, so they do hold a special place in my heart. Sign JT, sign JT. That's all we heard coming out of Philly from Bryce and everybody else, me included. I consider myself a Philly guy still. They got their guy. As we're recording this, he's hurt. But he'll be there for the season. He'll be behind the plate, catching everybody. First base, we got our guy Reese Hoskins. Top 5 prettiest swings in baseball, in my opinion. Wow. Second base, Gene Segura. Shortstop, Didi Gregorius. Third base, young stud, Alec Baum. Left field, Andrew McCutchen. Him and I shared Halloween costumes one year back in 2007. No big deal. Center field, this is where we don't know. They got Roman Quinn, they got Housley, and they got
Kinger.
Kingery.
Yeah. So
we're going to see how this all works out. And then in right field, of course, we got the man who got paid, Bryce with the Y, Roman right field out there. He can be himself in Philly, he said. Jim, what is going on with that rotation?
It's a little bit more of the same. You have Nola, you have Wheeler, you have Eflin. They had those 3 guys last year. Vince Velasquez comes back. He's been there for a while. They picked up Matt Moore, who was pitching over in Japan. Is that Tampa Bay Rays Matt Moore? How old is he?
I think he's early 30s. He injury-riddled career, and he kind of like found it last year. So
he's coming back?
He's come back, yeah.
Wow.
Be a lefty, kids.
They got Chase Anderson, Spencer Howard, who they're excited about. In the bullpen, Jake said a lot of this. Archie Bradley, he's good. Hector Neris, Jose Alvarado, Brandon Kinster. They needed bullpen help. This lineup's good. I mean, I think that's where we start. The lineup is really good. I like it.
I think it's I want to stop doing this, but it's in my head. Are these the Cubs just with one more starting pitcher?
I think they're a more complete team.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah, I like them.
The lineups are similar. I could see how you could make that jump lineup to lineup, but I think this is a little bit more complete team.
Okay.
The vibe's much different.
Vibes different.
Yeah,
I came out and said this team is a serious contender. They can be a serious contender. Am I going to walk that back on this episode? Maybe a tad bit.
Definitely.
But I think they're close. Like you said, Jim, everything was good last year except for the bullpen. And I think they've addressed it enough where it's not going to be like the biggest pitfall like it was last year. I mean, it was historically bad last year. It's not going to be that this year.
It was very bad. Their top 3 had good years last year. I mean, Nola had a 3.2 ERA. He's really good. Zach Wheeler, he had a 2.92 ERA. They paid him big money to do good things. And Eflin had a 3.97 ERA. That's a good top 3. I think that's way better than the Cubs' top 3.
I think it's one pitcher away, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Zach Wheeler is Hendricks. Eflin, I think, is probably comparable to Zach Davies, but they have Aaron Nola.
And Aaron Nola, yeah.
So I think,
But it's the one pitcher on the other side.
yes,
Yeah.
that's what I was trying to say.
They picked up. Oh, no.
I think the other thing that jumps out where I have them above the Cubs is there is a little bit of depth and flexibility. Trev, I don't know if you saw this, but on their bench currently is a guy that's been on the bench in your backyard, Brad Miller, who can do some things in this league. And like you said, between Hazley, Roman Quinn, and Scott Kingery, you've got some young options there that one of those guys probably clicks this year. And that's going to be someone who gets some run for them. So when you factor that in with the guys that you can write with Penn, Bryce, McCutchen, Real Muto, Hoskins, Didi, like this lineup is going to be there.
Also, I think and this kind of ties into what you said about the Cubs and also what I said about the vibe. We were like, are the Cubs going to go pick up guys at the deadline to help this team out? And you're like, well, they have to really force the hand. The East is going to be a bloodbath. And they brought in Dombrowski, and they went and got Didi, and they went and got Real Muto, and they got Wheeler the year before that, and Harper the year before that, and all this stuff. They are going to pick guys up at the deadline. And I think they won't be shy to do that at all. Like, I think when you get Dombrowski, you know that you're hammering a window. So I think that's where I say the vibes will be better about this Phillies team, where I think it's like we're going after it. Bryce Harper said, I went from scared to whoa in the offseason, following all the moves.
I love that. We talked about the Cubs having a potential sell-off. I don't think really any of those guys fits on this team. Could you make a fit somewhere for them? What do you think? Rizzo,
now you're trading Cubs to the Phils?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if they have a sell-off and these guys are buyers, I don't know if any of those guys fit.
The Cubs could be in first place and the Phillies could be in fourth pretty easily.
100%. That's a possibility.
Any of these Phillies fit on the Cubs?
We're speaking hypothetically here, man. Okay. We're speaking hypothetically here. I'm just saying.
Not really. They need pitching.
That's the team we said they have the most to sell. And I don't think any of them fit on this team.
Unless there's an injury and then you replace it with the Cubby. That's kind of trades
both teams are hitting heavy.
You guys believe in Spencer Howard? Are you excited about him?
I like that Phillies fans believe.
Okay.
I like when teammates rally around a guy and come out and say, man, this guy's nasty. Like everyone you ask, like, who's the guy to watch over there? They always talk about Spencer Howard. So you got to have lend some credence to that. But yeah, they have some depth here. They have a little bit of everything, kind of a complete team on paper. Now they just got to go out and do it. They need that Joe Girardi magic. What's going on, guys?
Well, you got some bullpen pieces. We'll see. Yeah, I like Bohm. Is it Bohm? Is that how you say it? Baum? Alec Baum?
You can double check. I want to say I think it's a hard O.
Bohm?
I think it's a hard O.
You don't have it listed, the pronunciation. I think
first round pick from Wichita State. How about that? He had a breakout year, so that's a fun storyline. He finished second in the Rookie of the Year voting. 136 OPS plus. He had an 881 OPS, a 338 batting average in 44 games, a shortened season. That'd be cool if he became a mainstay and continued that. That'd be huge for them. The offense isn't there. Like, the offense is there. The pitching, I don't know. Like, if Spencer Howard can become a middle of the rotation guy this year for them, and the other three guys above him are doing what they do, and they become 4 deep, I like that. But I don't know who else they have in the wings starting in case there's an injury or not. I don't know. Do they have any other guys down there?
Not a ton of names you're familiar with. Looks like Adonis Medina might get the shot this year. Ivan Nova, Jim, your guy, non-roster invite. So maybe he can crack camp. They might keep Spencer Howard down to start the year, a little manip.
Yeah, and have Nova stay up.
So, yeah, they'll be doing that dance.
Brian Mitchell. Girardi's just getting all of his Yankee names. I mean, he's got Torreyes, Brian Mitchell, Ivan Nova,
Didi.
That's kind of funny.
Disco Neal get invited back? Not yet. Yeah, he knows what he knows. Guys he's familiar with. Man, this division's so tough. I know we're trying to talk about the Phillies, but you can't get past it without saying there's still going to be 3 teams that we haven't done yet. The Braves are going to be one of the top teams we do.
Mets.
The Mets. Everyone gets excited about the Mets. The Nationals might be coming up soon. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I don't know, man. I don't know. That bullpen has to get better, so you like that. I don't know.
Who's getting the center field job? They're all kind of poor bats. Between, or have been poor bats, Quinn, Kingery, and, how do you say it? Hazley? Sorry, Phillies fans.
Hazley.
Yeah, I think it's Hazley. Super nice guy.
Wow.
I think they all offer different things, so it kind of could depend on where you're at in the season.
Okay.
Roman Quinn is one of the fastest players.
Led
in the
all
league.
of baseball in average home to first speed in 2020.
He can really go get it out there in center field. Also, I mean, look, we know some of these teams, when you need a runner late in the game, he can do that. So is he a better bench piece for them? Go in defensively. Hazley can hit a little bit. He's got a nice little stroke. And then Kingery, I feel like kind of is the most, or can be the more dynamic player in all facets of the game. But he's got to prove it. He hits with Judge. Hopefully, some of that rubs off on him. But they do have, it's three really good options when you're talking about rotating an outfield position.
I'm going to buy a little Kingery stock. His 2019 was a pretty nice season. I mean, his age 25 season, 126 games. He had a 788 OPS, 19 home runs while playing all over the field. Last year, brutal season. Phillies fans, let me know, did something happen? Did the year get to him? I'm not fully sure, but I'll buy some Kinger stock. This is a guy they believed in enough to give him a contract, kind of before he got to the show pretty much. And he can play all around. I don't know if he locks in at center field or maybe there's an injury or whatever it is, but give me Kinger at bats over a full season. I think he's got the hit tool, and that's something, if you've got that in this sport, I think you find a way.
He's also wifed up now. I don't know.
Huge.
He could be a completely different player this year.
Huge.
Nola was so good. Remember when he just dominated the Yankees last year?
Nola's underrated on the MLB map, man. That guy is a stud.
So what do you think their ceiling is? Do you think that they can win the division?
No.
I have to say yes. But man, that Braves team, I just have above everybody else in the division. I think they could finish second. I think they could be better than the Mets.
I've got second. Second's attainable.
The ceiling, if you're going to go by 1% like you've been doing, there's a chance they win the division. Now, everything has to click. They have to add. Dombrowski has to Dombrowski. Bryce has to be MVP. Realmuto's got to stay healthy the entire year. Kingery or somebody's got to take over the center field spot. Spencer Howe. All these things have to happen. So there is a chance, but I think realistic ceiling is probably second in the division. And then is it enough to get a wild card? I don't know.
Nola's had a rough last 5 starts. Just looked at that and saw that for the first time.
I'm bored.
Yeah. 19 runs, 14 earned runs in his last 5 starts. I think that I agree with that, Trev. If you're going do they have a chance? But I hope they're in the mix. I hope that this division stays in there in the mix. They have the talent. I think they have some of the best watchability. Just a really fun club between Didi, Reese, Harper, Kutch, Nola, Realmuto. I just think you're getting a really good product of just watching games every day, and that's something that doesn't count for anything, but I think I'm saying.
And
I love their depth too. We really do.
Talked about the Cubs, and they have a lot of sell pieces, so that's partially why we're rooting for that. The only guy who's got a club option next year is McCutch. Saying McCutch was weird. You either say McCutcheon or Kutch. So if they are out of it, that's the only guy that's hard on the block for them. Realmuto just got the bag. Kingery's got it. Reeser is in ARP. Harper's got the bag. Didi signed a 2-year. Segura's getting paid. So like
that's why I was saying the vibes. Like there's a little window here, and if they can get to a hot start in April and May, and force Dombrowski's hand, like, hey, go get us help quick, and maybe he can pull some trades before that. Like, every now and then we see like early July trades happen. If they just and that puts more pressure on the division. So I think a hot start's key to this squad.
And it's tied into that, but you also can't let two teams run away. If the Braves are going to be the Braves and they start racking up wins, that is what it is. I mean, they're the daddies of that division right now. If the Mets have it, or if the Nats found it again, like if you're the Phillies, it's go time. It's go time all season. And that's kind of tough for an MLB team.
They open up against the Braves and the Mets, and then the Braves, and then the Mets.
Jesus, dude, you have a bad 2 weeks out of the gates.
That.
How crazy is that?
Jeez.
That's incredible.
They go 3 games against the Braves, 3 games against the Mets, then 3 games against the Braves, then 4 games against the Mets.
Show me what you're made of.
Yeah.
Their first 13 games are just kind of a gauntlet.
You're going to find out in the first 2 weeks is this team's fighting this year.
Then they go Cardinals after that. So the best team in the Central. So their first 16 games are playoff hopefuls. Then they get the Giants and the Rockies. Dude, then they get 4 against the Cardinals. And 1 more against the Mets in April. They got 21 games against a contender in April. So let's see where they are at the end of that. I think you'll have a pretty good feel. That sucks.
Gauntlet.
If there's a clubhouse in the big leagues that wants that, it's this clubhouse. Very, very confident clubhouse. They did lose one of their main guys in Jake Arrieta, who was steering the ship a little bit over there. But when you got a guy like Bryce, Rio Muto, Reese is a confident dude.
It doesn't stop.
They ooze confidence, so I love it.
It doesn't stop. In May, after the Mets, they got 4 against Milwaukee. Then they see the Braves again. Then 3 against Washington. Then the Blue Jays. Then they get an off day. And then they get a stretch, like a nice stretch. 3 against the Marlins, 3 against Boston, 4 against the Marlins. And then Cincy. But that first...
It doesn't even sound that good, Jim.
Stay alive. Stay alive, Phillies.
That April gauntlet's going to be wild for them.
And I know we want to be positive, but also we're talked about this with a couple teams. If something does happen with Nola or Wheeler, this team's outlook changes instantly.
You say that about a lot of teams, but yeah.
I'm just if I said about the other teams, I should say it here. Some guy I want to give some love. I don't know if you guys have heard of him, Bryce Harper.
Yeah.
Bryce, if you guys remember, going back about 3 years or so, Bryce kind of had a stereotype that he was injury prone.
He did?
Yeah, he, out of his first 6 years, I think 4 of them he got banged up at a certain point. The past 3 seasons, he's played 374 out of 384 games. He's missed 10 games in the past 3 seasons. So Bryce has been out there. And he's had some hot and colds. Last year he was actually pretty nasty. Led the NL in walks, 962 OPS. Still Team Bryce. This is going to be his age 28 season. That's insane.
10th year, age 28 season. Sounds nice.
Golly.
Fun fact, I was the one who alerted the team in spring training when Bryce got signed.
What do you mean?
I was at the field, not playing. So I went back into the clubhouse because my career was basically over and I just wanted to get a cold beverage to watch the game. And as I was in there, it got reported. And so I was like, okay. I went back out into the dugout and I was like, hey guys, we just signed Bryce Harper. And everyone kind of started seeing around the stadium, people checking their phones. You heard some claps around and everyone kind of found out about the news. And
Who is the one person that you told on the Phillies that they signed Bryce Harper, who's still on the Phillies today, that was pissed off about it?
Jesus.
I don't think anybody was.
Whoa.
Fuck that guy.
Whoa.
I remember the first the first like kind of thought about it was like, holy shit, that's a long contract, 13 years.
Yeah.
But hey, man,
Yeah.
talk about putting roots down somewhere.
MVP wearing the joggers. All right, we like Nola, we like Wheeler. Eflin got to keep doing the damn thing. The lineup we think bangs. It's the bullpen. You know what? You know what's going to be the key right now?
Sure.
That April stretch. If the bullpen blows games to the Mets and the Braves, I think the fan base starts pulling their hair out immediately. Let's get through that April like 500 with no bullpen collapses, and I think you've got a winning April. Set up nice to keep going, at least. It's a gauntlet, man. It's a gauntlet.
What's strange is, they had to address their bullpen, so they brought in Archie Bradley. That was a big move. Then, Jose Alvarado, we know about his like electricity. But the sneaky pickup on a minor league deal, Brandon Kinster. And I'm not a huge Brandon Kinster fan. I think I've mentioned that on the pod before, but he gets the job done. I mean, even last year, 2-2.
He was closing
ERA.
for the Fish in the playoffs.
So this, what a sneaky little pickup. I don't understand it. I don't understand how a guy like that doesn't command 1 year, $3 or $4 million. I have no idea how that happens. But look, if this guy can go and put up ground balls like he always does, kind of find some stability in the pen, Jim, like you're saying, the lineup has the potential. The starting pitching has the potential. And I think, again, this is going to be the test for them, is how the bullpen does hold up to that stretch you're talking about.
Check back in with us on May 1st, and let's see what we're saying. I'm excited about that. All right.
They're also, as we record this, Odorizzi's still out there, and they have been one of the teams that have been in contact.
That'd be nice.
That would change things for significantly.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Their outlook.
I like that a lot.
That would change things significantly.
DraftKings has the over-under as at 80.5.
500.
If you didn't come and tell me their schedule like that, I would say over, but you're scaring me now. But then I think every NL East team is going to have a schedule that looks like that, because you play that tough division and you play the AL East as well. I'll go first this time.
I have no idea. I'm flipping the Kush.
Kush.
Are you kidding me?
That's on you.
Look how I landed, Trev.
You.
That's unreal. I'm choosing to push.
Can't. It's on a half.
Well, the one game will get rained out. It'll be a tied game, and they won't redo it.
Still doesn't
work that way.
Over.
Hey, go. Make Jimmy the bad guy. Come on.
Trev?
I said over. I flipped the can. It landed over. I went over.
Oh.
They win 81 games.
Jake?
I'm under, man.
Jake's under.
Unless they sign Odorizzi, which would change their number a little bit. But without Odo, I'm under.
Trev?
Okay.
What did Trev choose? Did I miss it?
I said over.
He went first. He's in bed. Yeah. He's in bed with these Phillies. They're a former employer of his.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I am. I have a little bit of bias there, but.
All right.
Go get Odo.
Odorizzi.